2, 1. Go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the FunkyBrims Live. We appreciate everyone coming on tonight. This is going to be a fun one tonight. We have Colin and Jenna from Hales that are going to be on here. We're going to be talking about the new Hales drop tonight, the Bad Moon. Got the flannel shirt, got 3 caps to go with it, got some promo codes to give out, talk about Labor Day sales and a lot of other stuff. So with that said, Sarah, if you want to add them in, we'll jump on in and introduce everybody. And still waiting for people to get on. Takes a minute, but we'll go ahead and start here. Colin and Jenna from Hales, how are y'all doing tonight?
Great.
We're great.
So
We're great.
The Bad Moon just dropped about an hour ago, the flannel on the Hales site, and just went live. The caps and everything just went live on our site, FunkyBrims.com as well. And
As well. I heard
what
that.
was that? Yeah.
Your Oklahoma came out.
My Oklahoma came out. We tried.
Yeah, I was thinking you just sound like you're from the South. That's all.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'll give a second for everyone else to get in. You shared it to the other groups and stuff. All right, good deal. And
Can Sarah check to see if it's shared to our page? Okay.
I will do so.
all right. So hello, Jason. Hello, Dan. Hello, Ben. Appreciate everybody coming on tonight. And so yeah, we'll get in and start talking about the Bad Moon.
Looks good.
Thank you, Sarah.
Want to hear talk to Colin for a second about kind of the inspiration behind this one, or Jenna, whoever was inspired by this one. Colin's generally the flannel designer, and so tell us a little bit about how this one came about and what you were thinking.
Yeah, so basically, whenever we started designing this flannel, I really wanted to do one that sort of reminded you of a full moon, with the werewolf. That's where the brown came in, with a little bit of the fur from the werewolf, the 2 blues that are in it, the bright cobalt blue and the bit of a darker blue, and then sort of the black to give it a more sinister appeal. Initially, this flannel was going to be called, what was it? It went through a couple of names. It was going to be called the Full Moon at one point. Then we started talking about calling it the Blue Moon, which, don't get me wrong, I love the beer, but I started thinking, werewolf themed flannel, maybe Blue Moon's not the right one. And honestly, one night I was sitting back, and I love Creedence Clearwater Revival, so I was sitting back listening to some CCR as I had a whiskey and a cigar, and Bad Moon Rising came on, and I thought to myself, I know that song isn't about werewolves, but immediately that whole Bad Moon, I was like, that's it. That's the theme. It's got to be the Bad Moon, not the full moon, not the blue moon. It's got to be the Bad Moon.
Yep.
See some, yeah, that's interesting, and I think it's a perfect name for it too. And I like the artwork that's gone with it, and it's been interesting. I've gotten to see a little bit behind the scenes of that process, and you got an artist that draws that up from your thoughts and inspiration, and now he's helping design the pins. If you hadn't seen it, all the caps come with a pin. This guy here, kind of the werewolf with the moon behind it. If I can get it just right, there we go. Nice and kind of locked in. You can see it there. Got the car in front. Of course, Hales a lot of ties in with cars, a lot of them. So just talk a minute about your process, and just in terms of coming up with new ones. Like, how many ideas do you have, that never turn into shirts? I mean, for every 10 ideas you have, how many of them end up getting made?
Oh, God, I don't know.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've told other people this. Whenever it comes to designing the plaids, it's not like we went to school for that or anything.
Right.
There's a program that I use for designing the plaids, and whenever you get on there, initially it's a pretty confusing program. Whenever it comes to anything complex, you can design very simple patterns on it very easily, but of course, the challenge for me has always been, how do I make it better? How do I make the pattern more complex? So I started just sort of playing with it, trying to do crazy ideas, started challenging myself, how many colors can I make a plaid where it still looks good? You don't want to make it too many colors to where you stand back and you're like, oh, that's god awful. So
Right.
And then also we go back and forth between those super complicated
Yeah.
ones, and then something more like today's
Yeah.
where there's, people think it's buffalo, but it's actually not.
no, buffalo typically is a 2-color check pattern, and we've taken that buffalo. We did a couple of buffalo long time ago. And initially, buffalo, there's nothing wrong with it, but of course, I always challenge myself to go, well, let's think outside of the box, and how can we take a classic buffalo plaid, 2-color check pattern and make it Hales,
And amp it up.
and that's where, taking that pattern and turning it into 4 colors to where this flannel has the black and the brown and the 2 blues in it. It almost makes that blue, whenever you're walking down the street, or if you see somebody wearing it, it almost makes that bright cobalt blue almost look offset. It almost looks like 2 patterns on top of one another,
Yeah.
But whenever
I'll
it
tell you,
comes
this is
to-
one of these that, it looked good when I first saw the pictures of it and saw a little swatch of the fabric. But then when you get it on and you see it like in the light, I mean, this one just has a really interesting sheen and almost a little glow to it that you don't quite expect out of a darker, general pattern.
Yep.
No, it's almost, if you look at it in the right light, it almost kind of has like a reflective to it. I was looking at the underbill of this hat earlier in this warm lighting that we're sitting under, and it almost had like this reflective look to it where that cobalt blue crosses like the brown,
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
that's one of
whenever-
the things that I think is interesting is this one, it is a little bit simpler pattern, but there is some complexity to it when you really start paying attention to it. And then, you guys weren't on when we dropped the geisha, but that was the last one we did, 2 weeks ago, roughly 2 weeks ago now. And that one was obviously a lot more complex pattern, with some different colors in it, but, equally, great shirt. But this is one of those that I can just, kind of, the first thought when I saw this one is like, that's one of those that you'll just grab for and want to, wear every other day all fall long, because it's just, kind of goes with everything. Just, just a nice shirt that has all your colors in it that you'd want.
Yeah. No, and to circle back to your question about, how many patterns do we actually put in production as opposed to which ones we design, we sort of got carried away with making patterns and trying to, make each one better, more complex, make the blends better. Or like Jenna was saying, sometimes you just let the colors do the talking, leave the pattern very simple. I think at this point, we've designed over 600 flannels that are legit one-off patterns. That shows whenever you have a passion for something that's your hobby and you get carried away with it and you have wild 3 a.m. ideas and you wake up and you go, I got to get my laptop. I got to get this idea out. It's kind of nice because whenever we sit down and we go, okay, well, let's lay out the entire 2026 lineup, it almost becomes challenging because you're constantly going, well, which one do we pick? We got all of these, which ones do we pick? And, it's definitely been fun. And, I can tell you, we have no shortage of creativity at the shop.
We got plenty. And then it's even fun because, Colin will come up with this crazy 3 a.m. idea. He'll show me a couple days later, and then we'll sit there and have these really great creative conversations. And, we can nitpick each other. There's no feelings hurt or anything. We know we don't mean anything by it, but I'll be like, nope, don't like that. Or he'll be like, I don't like that. And we just go back and forth and back and forth. So even once you guys finally get the flannel in your hands, it's been probably changed anywhere from 1 time to 15.
Yeah. That geisha that you dropped, that we dropped, last, and you did the matching cap with it. A lot of people don't know the geisha, that was actually the 3rd rendition of it. We designed it the first time, which we loved it, and after looking at it for about a year, we made some adjustments to it. And once again, we were in love with it. But then all of a sudden before we put it in production, literally, what was it, like a month before we put it in production, we sat there looking at it and we went, no. And I told Jenna, I said, give me tonight, I'm going to go and then we'll look at it tomorrow. And I literally came home and started from scratch and redesigned that whole flannel with, different colors, different pattern, and came to the shop the next day. And I was like, here's the new geisha. And we immediately were like, okay, that's the one we're running with.
Ready to go.
Yeah. So I see the comments. So we'll jump in for just a second. We will have a couple of contests going tonight. Every comment is an entry into a drawing, and around 7:30, and then again at 8 o'clock, Sarah will do her magic and pick a winner. This week's winners, both of them will get one of the mystery boxes. It's one of the fun things we've been doing. Everybody's been enjoying. So mystery box in your size to the winner, 7:30. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to look at the hats here in just a second as well. And then we also, the promo codes are on the bottom. Bad Moon 10 will give you 10% off the Bad Moon and all the other FunkyBrims exclusives. We still have the Geisha. We still have some Butcher out there, and then some other ones in our FunkyBrims line. And then the code Labor Day 20 will give you 20% off kind of everything else in the store, except the exclusives and things like the mystery boxes that are already kind of discounted. And so the mystery boxes, we've had a big run on those. 3 caps and a mystery bag of pins with 5 different pins in it. All just random. Will be in your size for $65, shipping included. So that's been a lot of fun, and it's been fun watching everybody kind of open and show what they got and all that stuff. And that. Some of it is, I bring in a lot of samples of caps that, we don't end up, buying, but I may have liked it. And I may just said, hey, we've already got too many blue ones like this right now, so we don't need this one. We've had stacks in our store of things that aren't online, just kind of one-off ones. And we've kind of replaced those with some of our lines. So a lot of the ones that were one-offs in the store are in the mystery boxes and just other fun stuff. So those will be the prizes tonight. And then, every purchase on our site between now and about 10 o'clock Central Time, so about 2 hours and 50 minutes from now, be an entry into a drawing, and we'll pick one person, and they get win a free cap of their choice, anything in the store. So got those going on tonight, but let's jump in and talk real quick about the caps. Again, I've already shown the pin. There's 3 caps. Again, all of them will come with this pin. This pin's also available separately if you want it. Some of the Bad Moon character, if I can get it just right. There we go. Well, there we go. Anyway, let it focus for a second. That's available for sale separately as well. First one I want to show is this pinwheel. So you can kind of see there's 4 different fabrics on this one. The front is, I'm going to kind of call a moleskin kind of pattern. It's going to have a little bit velvety, but it's going to be a fairly rough material or fairly tough material that you could use. Moleskin's used a lot of times for like work pants and that kind of stuff. But it's got kind of a velvety touch to it. And then of course we got the little panel of the flannel. We have some brown corduroy, and then we have a black, I'll kind of say this almost feels like a Carhartt jacket or something like that kind of material. And that's the one that Colin's got on, is the black one made out of just that. Got the flannel underneath the brim on this one. We'll let Colin show off the second one. So this is the flat cap in black.
You may want to put yours up too, Chris. Ours is pretty dark.
Oh, oops! I grabbed the wrong one.
We'll work on our lighting for the next one.
So again, this black is going to be sort of like I'd call it a Carhartt kind of material. Maybe not quite that thick, but a fairly thick and cotton. And then all of them, we do have our tag in there. This is woven, not going to stick to your head or anything like that. Colin can attest to that. So kind of the same art there with FunkyBrims and the Hales collab. Got the flannel underneath the brim on this one, but just kind of a nice coordinating cap on this one. That I think it's selling pretty quick from some of the comments we've seen or whatever, the black ones. And part of the thing we have, and Colin and Jenna can attest to this too, is you're ordering so far in advance, right? So I mean the quantities we had to pick out for these caps were locked in before we ever did the first one with the Butcher. So the ones we're ordering now, as we get further towards the end of the year, the quantities are much higher in terms of the number we'll be making and that kind of stuff. And, also going to get into, more different varieties. Probably going to start doing a newsboy that's kind of, going to be all one color with just a, little highlight of the flannel each time as well. So I have at least 4 of them. And then, as I've hinted at before, there's at least one of them where we're going to be doing a fedora, where we kind of, the band around the hat will be the flannel and stuff like that. So any hints you want to give, Colin, about any the more exciting ones you got for the rest of this year? I think the last time we were on, you hinted that there was going to be a CCR version coming up. So
well, I can tell you next month is a little tribute to, I guess you could say it's a little tribute to Leonard Skinner, one of my favorite songs that they play. You're doing a cap with that one. And actually that flannel dates back all the way to one of the very first ones we did. And whenever we started marketing for it, we referred to the flannel as a certain, I don't want to give too much away, but it was a certain term that we referred to the flannel as, and it confused people on the drop date. And so after the fact, we thought, well, why don't we just design that flannel?
We definitely need to be on with you guys that week.
Yeah.
So we can tell some of the fun stories behind that mid-September, give or take. Waiting on a few more to show up.
Yeah. No, the next one's going to be a lot of fun. And then
one more short sleeve.
One more shaka. More shaka. We're done with cruisers for the year. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of guys out there that are wanting more cruisers. We're going to give them more next year. But for this year, we're done with cruisers. We got one more shaka left. Chris, you're going to be doing a scally. You're going to be doing a cap with that shaka, which, I have a sample there at the shop that you sent me to look at, and it's really cool and really different. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
And then I'm super excited for our Halloween one.
Yeah.
And our Halloween has this one was designed almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's finally made the cut to this year.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to jump on with you sometime in October when that one comes out. Lots of great October ones as well, and lots in between.
We'll have to the Halloween one. We'll have to jump on to explain the complexities of the pattern, even though it looks very simple. Which Chris, you and I have talked about.
Oh yeah.
How it looks very simple, but it's actually kind of complex to give it a certain look that mimics the character. So
it tricks your eye. It
the
does.
amount of worry after we put it into production to make sure it was going to be done correctly was weeks of sleepless nights.
Yeah.
So real quick, this is the third one. This one is kind of a split flat candle cap. It's got the same sort of what I'll call moleskin around the sides. Got a little bit of a texture to it. It's the same one. This one's got that underneath as well. And so this is the kind of same shape we've done on several of them there, where we get, kind of a mix there, and, did a real nice job of lining everything up there, which is kind of a big deal to me. And so that's the 3 caps for tonight on this collaboration. And again, those are live on the website now. I've seen some people talk about that some of them have sold out, and we apologize for that. We were definitely going to up the quantities and the mixes and that kind of stuff. So hang with us there, but appreciate everyone jumping on, and we'll see what we can do on that. And if we're one size off, I tell everybody this. If you're looking for a 60 and we do have 59s, go ahead and grab that 59. Put a note in the comments. We've got good hat stretchers and steamers, and we can always get an extra size out of something pretty easily. And I think most people have had pretty good luck when they've done that previously. So, just let us know if there's something like that, and we can help at least stretch it one size or something like that.
Can I answer one question? Yes. Tanya asked how many Hales stores there are. It's just one. It's just me, Colin, and my husband, Nathan, and our store in Louisville. And then we have about 40 wholesale dealers all over the United States. Not everybody picks up every shirt. The dealers have an opportunity to pick what they want.
And if you're around Oklahoma, there's our store, and we do get every one of them. And think a lot of the rest of them are going to be Harley dealers around the country.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
There's a couple of small businesses like you, but not many.
Cool. So
someone asked who's making where they're coming from.
So yeah, all of these caps are made in Italy. It's the production line. It's the private label line, the same one that makes the FunkyBrims line. It's the same company. It's owned by Alfonso D'Este. They do a private label business as well. Actually, their origin was private label stuff before they got into making their own caps as well. But so when we were over in Italy, we met with them, and so we're still in some of them. I think we really fine-tuned some of them that are going to be coming out later after we did that trip. But we're still kind of in the production cycle. I think we were talking today, Colin, about one that will be a January drop. So and that's already kind of feeling like we're getting tight in that one. So you really are kind of having to plan these things out for a while. And there's ones when we started this, we came down to Louisville and we looked through all the swatches of all the ones you're going to do, and we tried to pick one per month. We were just going to do one per month, and then I'm kind of every time you have a drop and we don't have one, I'm like, oh man, we should have done something for that as well. So I think
I loved Sarah that day when she was taking your notes while you were brainstorming. I loved watching Sarah that day. She's like, you told me one a month, Chris, and we just wrote down 2 to 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, and then we wish we had done even more than that. So, anyway, that's generally the way it works out. She's taking notes, remembering stuff while I'm brainstorming.
Right.
So, nice balance there.
If you want to tell them the weight of the hat, are they winter or summer?
These are going to be, I would say summer to fall. They're not, they're the liner, which is the thing to me is always the liner, right? When you get into putting some kind of quilted liner in there that feels like, a jacket or something, you're definitely in a winter cap. With all of these, I'm trying to do them where, they're going to be warm enough to where, when it's reasonably cold most places, but it's, it is going to have a flannel, those kind of things, but also light enough that, I'm not saying you wouldn't want to go work outside probably in Texas or Oklahoma in August in them necessarily, but, you certainly, certainly not going to burn up, walking around outside for a little bit. And, I will say the one that we've done, Colin mentioned earlier, we're doing one with the Shaka, that is a lighter weight material. And those are super lightweight caps. And I'm excited about those. And I will definitely have to do more of the Shakas going forward, get some of those just very, very lightweight caps.
Yeah. We got some fun themed Shakas for next year. So if everybody digs the one that's about to drop here pretty quick, then we'll definitely have to discuss next year's Shaka lineup, because you might have to end up doing all of them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
your manufacturer, did they the fabric so light compared to every hat I've felt of yours? Did they care, or was that no big deal for them?
No big deal for them. One of the things I will say is one of the first caps we asked them to make is they had in their spring summer lineup last year, their liner had all these little records, and it just had this disco feel to it. And so we asked them, and the liner is very thin, and we said, is there any way we can make that into a cap? And so they were able to take their own liner and basically put their liner on the outside and the inside. And that's probably, or actually they put a mesh on the inside with that liner. And that's probably about as thin a cap as you could possibly find, even lighter weight material than the Shaka is. And so I knew that they would be able to.
I saw a comment earlier. There's some people that are probably new to Hales and they don't know some of the lingo. So, our flannels, what you see that's limited edition, the ones that you've been doing most of the scally caps with, most of the caps with, those are all 8 ounce. They're a 97% polyester, 3% spandex. They do have a bit of a stretch to them, which is kind of nice whenever you want to be active. The cruisers are what we refer to as our plaid short sleeves. We came up with that term because we spent a lot of time whenever we were younger, taking our hot rods to downtown Dallas, to the boulevard, down to Forest Lane, stuff like that. And, you always wanted to kind of dress up for that night. And so we started thinking, what do we call our short sleeve button downs, that you can't just call them a short sleeve button down or a plaid short sleeve. That's kind of boring. So we sort of came up with the name Cruiser because we thought, man, that's what you wear whenever you want to, cruise the boulevard, whenever you want to, jump in the hot rod, jump on the bike, that's what you're going to wear that night to cruise and look sharp. The Shock is, and the Cruisers, by the way, they are the same material as the flannel. They are the 97.3, but they're much lighter weight. Like I said, the flannels are 8 ounce. The Cruisers are all close to 5. So you can compare that. An average T-shirt is about 4.5 ounces. So the Cruisers, are about the same weight as a T-shirt. They do breathe really nicely as well. The Shock is, on the other hand, those are going to be little under 4 ounces, closer to 3. They're extremely lightweight. Those are more of a silky smooth, kind of like a Hawaiian shirt, if you will. Those are kind of for your backyard barbecue, your pull days, stuff like that. And if anybody is interested in the blue collar series shirts that we do, those are a bit thicker. We wanted a more durable fabric whenever it came to those blue collar shirts. So once again, the same 97.3, same quality, same material as this, but we put those at around a 10 ounce, which you can compare to kind of a hoodie. Those are going to keep you nice and warm whenever it's really cold outside. We've even talked to some of the guys up north that say, man, I don't even need a hoodie. I throw on one of your solid black blue collar shirts and I'm good to go, Now we are going to develop, hopefully by this next summer, we're going to run some blue collar series short sleeves Cruisers. So they'll come with the same color options. We're actually going to drop 3 new colors with them. But you're going to have the solid colors, the square bottom hem, the same pocket style that we changed up. It's not this pocket style. It's a bit different. And then those, we're going to cut the weight down closer to that 5 ounce, just like the Cruisers are now.
Gotcha. So some questions there. How are Hales shirts sized? I wear a large, but the size chart says I would wear a small. So I don't know, what you normally, what the large is, but I mean, I think these are pretty typical sizing. I'm an XL, and an XL is what I grab in most things. I think those size charts are very accurate.
Yeah.
And I can wear a large if I wanted to. It's just a little bit tighter, so the extra large is I like it a little looser. But kind of either one of those. And like Colin said, they do have enough stretch in them that you can do that. But I would just say the size charts are pretty accurate, and yeah,
they're true to size.
When you measure them out, I think that's something that people aren't sure how to measure on the shirts. Make sure you're reading if the chart is saying laid flat or if it's all the way around. So when we're talking about laid flat, literally put your favorite shirt flat on the table and measure it from shoulder to shoulder, or in the waist from waist to waist.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm sure you get those questions with your hats and how do we measure our heads correctly? You kind of have to do that with the body.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody ever needs assistance, Chris, I'm sure you'll do the same on your end. But if anybody needs assistance, they can always email us. We're more than happy to answer any of the questions they have. And then on our end, we do offer a 30-day return policy. So if you order a shirt and you get it, just try it on for sizing. If it's too big, if it's too small, just get a hold of us, let us know, and we'll see if we can get it exchanged for you. We try to be helpful.
Yeah, Colin's a men's large. I'm a women's medium. My husband that you've seen in all the pictures with the long hair, he's a men's large.
And I'm just so sizing wise, I'm 6'1", and I'm about 215, 220. And wear a large. Nathan's 6'2",
6'3", and probably 200.
Probably 200, and he wears a large as well.
Yep.
So that if that helps anybody there with sizing.
Yeah. So somebody asked a question also about the color of the T-shirts, and are they always going to be black? And I can answer and say a lot of them are, but I know there's at least one later this year that I remember seeing that was not black or white.
Yeah, we'll have one next month that's going to be a nice asphalt gray that we ran a year, 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while that everybody really loved that asphalt gray color. So we got one coming out next month for asphalt gray. And we try to keep the T-shirts mixed up. But who was it? There was a customer of ours that he doesn't live in Texas, but he visits us in Texas often, at least once a year for the Hard Knock Hangout.
Yep.
And he was telling us a joke a while back, and he said, I swear in Texas, your guys' favorite, T-shirt color is black. And I said, oh yeah. And he goes, how do you wear black in that heat down there? And I was like, you just kind of get used to it. And
Right.
he goes, man, I love white T-shirts. And I said, yeah, we drop white ones every once in a while. And he goes, man, I promise you, your guys' favorite color of white is even black.
Yeah.
So we try to mix it up, but we do steer back to black pretty often.
Yep. I'm going to jump in for 1 second. We do have 2 other caps I wanted to show tonight real quick. Everybody always wants a cap of the week. This one is kind of a denim one. We've had this one for a little bit, but it works with this too. A little bit different blue, but this is the bootlegger. It's going to be kind of a denim canvas kind of feel, summer lining, and we got that one down to $40. I remind you that we have the Bad Moon 10 discount code for all of the caps we're showing from the Bad Moon and other exclusives, and then we also have the Labor Day 20, which is 20% off all the other caps. So this one's starting out $40. Take another 20% off, knocks it down to $32. All of our prices are quoted with shipping already included. So that's a great deal this week. And then one other new one this week, we're kind of launching a new series. There's going to be at least 3 of these, and we're calling them the spin wheel. So it's kind of a take on a pinwheel, but I like this one with this shirt too. So this one's going to be kind of a driving cap. Can you kind of see it's a little different shape than a lot of the ones we do. But it, has the kind of 3 colors there going around. And kind of another little interesting twist. This is holograms. It's going to be made in Italy, sized like the rest of the holograms. And it is wool, but this one's going to have more of a summer lining in it. So it's not going to be, it's one you could definitely wear around, kind of starting now. And so getting a few more of them in this year that have a little bit thinner lining and not just jump straight to the, sort of padded and quilted winter wear ones right off the bat. So again, and on both of those, the spin wheel is $64, which with 20% off will knock that one down to $51.20, and be more coming in that series for the next few months as well. So see if we have any other questions. How long is the brim on that pinwheel? So you can kind of see, let me just put it on and show you kind of a side view. I'm looking at it right there. Yeah. And so, it does kind of come down. It's going to be a very similar shape to like some of the Hannah hats of Donegal driving caps. So that's why we called it the driving cap. It'll definitely remind you of those Hannah driving caps.
And we have a winner as well.
We have a winner. All right. See? Look at that. Doug Gilliland. Gilliland. I can't read that far away. I've been bad. Okay. So Doug, congratulations, Doug. Message me and let us know what size you want in that mystery box. And mind everyone else, we do still have those mystery boxes out there for sale as well. Todd Wentz says it looks like a duckbill. Well, that's the reason I called it something other than a duckbill. But it's kind of a driving cap. It's a little different shape than the ones I typically go to, for sure. And, I wouldn't argue with you if you called it a duckbill, but
you look cute driving an old car with it.
Yeah, it's driving cap.
Yeah.
We'll keep that. The Irish know how to name these caps better than we do. So congratulations, Doug. And
one of the guys asked if he should have sized up or down. If he ordered from us, and probably same as you, Chris, he could email us tonight. And I think his name was Timothy. If we still have it in stock, we'll figure it out. Just email us, or I'm sure you guys, whoever you ordered the shirt from, we'll get you taken care of, Timothy.
Yep, absolutely. On the cap side or the shirt side, and we'll figure something out. If we're out of it and they still have it, we'll figure out some way to trade back and forth or something like that on there as well. Ben had a question I wanted to jump real quick. Any new City Sports coming? I am not sure for fall. City Sport, we really loved some of their some of their spring and summer prints. Remember, like the ones with the dog and the ones with all of the Volkswagens on it and all that kind of stuff we did. And so we're definitely going to be in and order some of those for next spring. they don't have those same kind of patterns and everything that people seem to like. And so I feel like we'd be kind of duplicating a lot of the stuff we're doing. And the FunkyBrims line is going to be so much bigger this fall. We've got a lot of different ones coming, kind of 3 different shipments, plus, a bunch more from Alfonso d'Este. And then, of course, one of the great things about this collaboration with Hales is we're getting some access to some different fabrics you won't find anywhere else on any more caps. And so, this one looks great with the with the flannel shirt that it goes with. This one would also look great, with the Caballero Cruiser from a couple of weeks ago. It also looks good with any, black T-shirt you have, or any blue T-shirt you have, or a blue polo, or anything else as well. And so all of these, we're kind of designing them to work with the flannel, but also, be nice caps that you could wear, with a lot of other stuff as well. So, that's a long way of saying, I'm not sure if we're going to have any more from City Sport. And then we also have Strakowski that we're looking at ordering. And so it just kind of, I just don't want to have, you only need so many black caps from different brands or something like that. And so we'll probably, where I think they really do a good job is some of those fun spring and summer prints. And so they'll probably come back around then. Are the Hales shirts on the FunkyBrims website? So yes, we do have some on the FunkyBrims website as well. If you go to the FunkyBrims.com, you'll see the buttons there. One of them is Hales, kind of the round circles in the middle buttons. And on the Hales is the shirts. And I think starting next time, whenever that is, we're going to start having the T-shirts as well. So, we'll start having the T-shirts on our site as well. So excited about that. And just when they decide to let us start selling the banners too, we'll be all complete. But I don't know if that's good. But those banners are awesome, and those go pretty quickly. And so those are on their site. And so assuming, I don't know if you guys still have any of those or not, but check out the Hales site. And then we do have we also do have the trucker hats, the flat bill. I can't remember what this one is. I think it's kind of the 6-panel. But some of the flat bill caps as well, and we have those on our website also. So, see if there's any more questions there. Again, remind you, every comment is an entry into. We'll do another drawing for another mystery box at 8:00, and then we will have a contest. Every purchase between now and 10:00 Central Time is an entry into a drawing for a free cap of your choice. It could be a cap. It could be one of these collaboration caps. It could be a shirt. It could be, whatever it is, just any purchase. It could be a mystery box. Everything is an entry into that drawing. So appreciate everyone being on and the questions. So, keep the questions coming if you have some. And we're trying to follow them. Sarah, have you seen anything?
Someone said that they forgot to enter the discount code at checkout. So we'll just have to message them.
Yeah, just message me. We want to make sure you get that discount so we can go back and just refund the whatever the discount is and take care of that for you. So absolutely do that.
Somebody said they were coming to see us in Texas in the spring. Oh. I don't remember the name now.
Dwayne.
Sorry.
I think it was
Dwayne.
Dwayne. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dwayne.
Come by the shop, message us, make sure we're there. Most of the time we are, but it is just the 2 of us. If we have sick kids, things happen. Just message us. Most of the time we're there 10 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and if the timing works out right, we're talking about doing some sort of a get together here around the probably the weekend before St. Patrick's Day around the Irish Fest here in Tulsa. And so if you're coming down this far anyway, it's not that much farther to go on down to Louisville. What, 3.5 hours? Depends on how fast you drive to get down there. But and I can't remember the hangout was just I think was that April?
Yeah, that'll be April. We'll probably get that date out of
mid-April.
It's usually mid-April. Yeah. I always try to plan. I don't ever want to do it Easter weekend, so people don't feel like they are losing time off with their families and things. So I just truly haven't looked at the calendar for next April. So
we'll pick a date and we'll get that date out there soon to everybody, because I know that everybody needs to book flights, book hotels, all that good stuff. Last year we had a large hangout. I think there was 30 plus people that actually flew in, and stayed at the La Quinta here in Louisville. Some of them came to the shop on Friday prior to the hangout. We all treated them to Sullivan's barbecue, which Chris, you and Sarah
Which
both
is good
been to
stuff.
some.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Yep. So we'll get Sarah back down here in April for sure, so we can feed her some barbecue.
Yeah.
And then you guys let us know that date too, and maybe we can make our way up to Oklahoma
Yep.
in February.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cruise a couple of hot rods up there and park them in front of the shop.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
We haven't
So,
been on a road trip in a long time, and that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be a great time. Absolutely. So yeah. So I know we have people tend to come in and out on these or whatever. So I do want to run through real quick the 3 caps we're really talking about tonight. Again, this is the Newsboy. This is sort of patchwork this time. It's got some moleskin, kind of a velvety cotton on front, got the flannel, got some brown cord, and then got this black, which you'll see again on a flat cap here in a second, which is sort of, I'll say kind of like a Carhartt jacket sort of feel to it, if you will. We have the flannel, which has the same blue on the side of it, kind of a bit of an ivy cap there, if you will. And then we also have it in black. This is just going to be solid black material. You can see some color there around the brim. Underneath is the flannel. And we're definitely going to start making more patterns like this too. And like I said, we'll start, for the ones where we kind of figured out what we're trying to do and had a chance to order, we'll be doing some newsboys, some 8-panel newsboys, where it'll be all kind of one solid color with some flannel underneath, similar to this as well. And so, definitely going to be expanding and try to pay attention. I mean, I appreciate the comments, whether they're good or bad, or hey, I wish you did this, or I don't like this, whatever it is, that helps. And we can start. Oh, she's staring at me now.
I don't appreciate bad. I delete that.
I feel that, Sarah. I feel that. I struggle with it too. Oh, and thank you guys. I've seen a couple guys say about our coloring contests. So we're running that in the private Hales Clubhouse group on Facebook each month, maybe even 2, depending on how life is going and crazy. We'll definitely be running another coloring contest for the next, it'll be a couple flannels from now, but it'll be the whole set again, where we give away.
It'll be next month.
Next month. It'll be September.
Yep.
Yeah. It'll be the flannel, the t-shirt, the hat, and the banner. You get the whole shebang with that coloring page. And your entry is just your coloring, anybody can color it. We had grandmas coloring it, kids coloring it, men, women, everywhere.
It's not judged off of talent.
Talent.
It's just simply participation. If you
Having
participate and you have fun doing it, you get entered in the wheel.
And then we just had a few more to sell, so we can make a new coloring book.
Yeah.
Melinda wants to know what you're wearing, Sarah. So Sarah has on one of the very first.
Hello.
This is from the butcher. Those are still out there.
Yes.
So this is the butcher in the same kind of shape.
That's because you keep selling out. He keeps selling out of all the other hats in my size. So I get like, he takes my hats and ships them off.
And Sarah, you were going to do some female caps pretty soon, right?
Yes. Yeah. And we had one that was coming and it got pulled on me. Somebody made an executive decision.
Somebody hadn't ordered enough of the flannel.
Yeah.
And so it was a choice between, I had to either cut the ladies' caps or cut that turquoise one that everyone ended up liking so much. And so,
we're gonna get the hang of it when it comes to all the fabrics and all the stuff. It's just taking a minute, but I do have ladies' caps coming now.
Yeah.
Yay!
And what I learned kind of the hard way is I kind of have to think about it when I'm, one interesting thing to say about this collaboration is, it is all planned early, but when people say, hey, are you going to do a restock on those? The answer is no. Like it's literally impossible. Right. And Colin, and Jenna can attest to that too. I mean, they run this fabric, so at the time that they're placing their orders, I'm saying, hey, I need this many yards of fabric, and they're running that much fabric before they start making the shirts and shipping it off to my cap maker. But there's no more getting the fabric. There's no more, way to make them or anything like that. So when they're gone, they're gone. But one of the things when I'm seeing a fabric now and I'm trying to decide how much fabric I need, I have to keep in mind, okay, what am I going to do with this, right? Because I was just kind of ordering the fabric. So, like last time we did with the geisha, that was all flannel, all 8 panels on the Newsboy, for instance. Well, it's not rocket science once you hear it and think about it. But, if I'm doing this one where I just one of the 8 2 of the 8 panels, one of each side, one out of 4 is the is the flannel. I don't need near as much flannel fabric to make this cap as I did the geisha, where all 8 panels were. So, we kind of got into it and, had already sort of committed to making those all newsboys like that. And, that takes up more fabric than it does if you just make it half flannel or a quarter flannel like this one is. So, getting the hang of that, was kind of, throw it together. I'm not going to say throw it together, but just kind of jump in feet first, at the beginning. And so I think it'll be a lot more kind of refined and planned out. And, other thing I've learned is just to order extra. And, worst case, if we end up with too much of it, they'll keep it there at the factory. And someday we'll, have extra remnants of a bunch of them, and we'll have them sew them together and make a big patchwork cap out of it or something like that, which would be fun.
I think you and I were talking about doing possibly having a patchwork cap that's kind of an ode to, say, 2026 towards the end of the year with maybe some of the favorites, worked into it.
Yep, absolutely. So we will not run out of like those turquoise ones. I know everybody like that one. Everybody likes that. Like that fabric, who knows? Maybe we'll use that fabric again and make it into a newsboy with some other shirt or something like that, so that everyone can have another shot at getting some of that turquoise that they liked so much. So we'll get something where that comes back around. Hear people saying they're wearing their geisha now. Yeah, that's a great one. We still got a few of those caps. I think maybe 3 sizes we have those left in right now, and got those. Looking for that patchwork bad moon. Yeah, that would be fun. I've also always wondered what it'd be like to just take the flannel itself and just make that into a patchwork with just one fabric, but where they just turn them different ways and all that kind of stuff, and be kind of a different kind of look to not have necessarily a bunch of different fabrics, but just have one fabric with different pieces of it and turn different ways and that kind of stuff. And maybe we may try that one on one of them as well. So
I saw somebody ask about the pin.
Do what?
All the hats come with the pin, correct?
Yes. Yep. Sure do. We'll show that again. The pin is available separate, and then they all come with the pin. And the pins are also, let's see if we can get it where you can read it there. I got number 1 to 200, but they're all numbered, so only making
number 3.
200 of the pins. So we have a few of them that are available individually, and those are gone. They're gone, but everyone comes with a pin. And same kind of thing. Once we sell these 200, that's it. Same thing with the geisha we did a couple of weeks ago. That one is still out there. And it's hard to get this to focus just right, but it's that one's numbered as well. So all the rest of them will be numbered like that. From now on.
Should they be collecting the pins?
If you want to. I mean,
I was about to say, when all the pins came in that have been finished already that I got to look at the other day at the shop, I want to make some sort of board. The pins are just so unique.
And even if you're not into the scally caps, like Chris and I were talking about, before we started this collaboration, we even had some customers that were hitting us up saying, how cool it would be to have, say, a lapel pin for your flannel, and we were honestly thinking about it. I had already talked to a guy that makes enamel pins, but as soon as Chris came on, we started doing the collaborations and you started doing the pins. I was like, well, heck, we don't need to do them anymore. People can just get the pins from you, whether they get the cap or if they just buy the pins separately just to wear on the lapel or something. But I mean, that bad moon, this bad moon pin right here, that's limited edition and numbered, even if you didn't want the cap, you can go and get that separately on Chris's site. And that fits nice on the lapel right here, just as an extra feature.
Yep. Or we have people that we have a lot of pins in our store. People, obviously put them on backpacks, jackets, bags, purses, whatever it is. So, a lot of those, a lot of pins floating around, that's for sure. But we thought it was a nice touch to sort of number them and, let people know this is how many there are. And right now there's 200. And I think, we will be upping that to probably 250 for some of the later ones because we want to, make sure there's enough to have some that we do sell individually and that sort of stuff as well. So, and we've had people, even though they come with it, we still have people that order extras, and so that's great too. If you want it, these are great pins that, that are, put them on other caps if you want to, as
They're
well.
cool.
So we've got the colors there. So, let's see. there's any other questions, trying to read it there. Again, every comment between now and I guess kind of whenever we drop off, we're not going to keep everybody on here just to keep you on here, but
we'll think about it.
We'll think about it. Yeah. So again, got these 3 caps, one other new one tonight, which was the spin wheel and graphite driving cap. And then cap of the week this week is this denim one, which is the bootlegger, $40. Take another 20% off with that code. Labor Day 20 knocks that down to $32 ship. So it's a nice little cap for that price. And also, real quick, we'll throw out. We did some restocking this week. So some of the ones that were favorites from last year, the Garrison series, got our little Peaky Blinders homage to the bar there. We've got the one in dark gray, got the one in the lighter gray, got the one in blue, and the one in the Irish green. Those are all restocked out there on the site this week. And real quick, also last week we had the green line. This is a new one. We had the Redstone plaid, another kind of 6-panel cap. We had the first one in our tartan patch series, which is this one. This one is a tartan patch flame. And then we also had the Heritage in this kind of navy blue herringbone. So those are all still out there. A couple of those have sold out, and we've got some restocks coming on some of those. So I think that's about it for tonight. We really appreciate it. If anybody has any last, it's Labor Day 20 for the spin wheel. Yes, yeah. The Bad Moon 10 works for the collaboration caps and our exclusives. Labor Day 20 for everything else. Dan's asking when's the next Shaka dropping. You'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm not going to be the one.
It won't be long.
It won't be long at all. And
someone asked if the hats are in the store, the ones that we just dropped.
Yes, these hats will be in our store. They just dropped tonight, so they're not, but we will have them in the store. We'll have them in the store, have something in the store tomorrow, and definitely have them by the weekend. Yeah. Whatever shirts we have left that don't sell, we'll have in the store by the weekend as well. And so, yeah, those will be in there. So, yeah, the local people, come on by and message me if for some reason, our warehouse is not far away. If for some reason you beat us up there and they aren't there, you can message us and, we can have it from the warehouse over to the store in 5 minutes.
You can also order online now and then click pick up in store.
Yeah, absolutely. For any of them, if you there's something you see and you're going to be by there, click the pick up in store and we'll have it over there and it'll send you an email when it's ready, usually within an hour or so, and ready to pick it up and all that stuff. So,
woot.
Yep.
Okay. So
happy Labor Day weekend coming up. Everybody enjoy the nice long weekend. Everybody probably needs a day off. I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're taking a day off. Our store will be open.
No, can we take a day off though?
Our store will be open Monday. We'll be up there, but it'll be a day off from the day job anyway.
Yeah.
So,
all right. We got a new winner.
Second winner, Alan Blau. I think I say that right.
Yep.
No, I talk to you pretty frequently, but I never actually say your name, so I'm going to assume that's right. Congratulations, Alan.
Well, we know the Alan part's correct.
Yes, we do know that. So, yeah, absolutely. Colin, Jenna, appreciate you guys being on tonight. You're always welcome to jump on any one of these, which you want to. Love talking about it and the inspiration. And so we'll try to do this at least every few times or something like that so that we get some background on some of these and kind of catch up for the ones we missed in the middle, and got some great ones coming. I'll just say I'm blown away. The best is yet to come. Even as great as some of these have been, the best is still yet to come this year with some of the other ones that are coming, and appreciate it. Yeah, again, congratulations, Alan. I know I can figure out your size and make sure we get that to you, but let us know if you need anything else. And if there is, that's all. We appreciate everyone being on tonight, and see you next week.
Yep.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you. Bye.